It is day 2 of the National Union of Mineworkers National Policy Conference that's underway in Ekurhuleni. The formation of a government of national unity and coalition talks dominated discussions, understandably, at the gathering yesterday. And Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala joins us now live. Nqobile, good morning to you. Of course, a number of things hang in the balance, notwithstanding the schisms that have been between the unions and government around issues like transformation. But in terms of its survival going forward, the shape and form of the alliance itself, together with its partners, the SACP and the ANC, will become an issue that affects its future. What was said yesterday and what's likely to happen today?
Well, Iman, there was a lot that they delved into. One of those issues being the fact that SACP, as well as NUM and of course COSATU, saying that they want a government of national unity to not take away from the strides that they have had over the years, especially looking in terms of employment. And their major worry being that the high unemployment in the country has contributed also into taking away from the workers' force. But at the same time, this is taking away from the people. They're saying that when they're being asked to go and speak to the people on the ground, there needs to be something that is valid to speak about. They're worried about service delivery in itself, saying that ANC as well needs to look at those issues because those are the things that affect the actual communities and how communities see ANC. So at this point, they were saying that the party must in fact reflect, and if the party does reflect, then only can it grow, but it can't be a party that does not reflect. And at this point, we know that they are having ministers that are going to be coming here, about 5 of them that are expected to be speaking to the workers. Now, I want to bring in DGS to speak to us, of course, about that visit from the ministers. We know that you've highlighted the issues of the workers, but what are the ministers going to be doing on this conference today?
Thank you very much, Nqobile. Indeed, we're expecting various ministers, largely those that are responsible for the sectors that we are organizing in. Of course, we know that we are almost at the end of the 6th administration of the previous government, but of course we'll want to hear from ministers in terms of policy direction, because our focus is on policy development. So certainly we'll be hearing them what is the government looking at going forward.
Let's talk about those policies. What are the major policies that you want looked at?
Look, for instance, we have, like I said, we have invited various ministers. But amongst other things that we are going to be discussing is the two-pot system, NHI, and many other various policies or legislations that are already in place that we need to implement. But of course, there are issues of transformation that we will also be discussing. For instance, in relation to the mining charter, we've got views. We know that it has come to an end. So it will be our proposal or our view that maybe it should be looked at in relation with the MPRDA, so that MPRDA as an act, it gives the mining charter weight. So things that are captured by a mining charter, we will be proposing that probably they must be inserted in the MPRDA to make them more effective, to make them at least to be implemented without necessarily having a choice not to implement, as we see companies doing.
And retrenchments are some of the issues that you said you will be highlighting, and of course from yesterday. Yeah. But how would these ministers be able to address the retrenchment in these various industries, especially the mining industry, which is faced with quite a lot of retrenchments at this point?
Yeah. Look, we think that the intervention of government is very much critical. It's a pity that the 7th administration will only be put together probably later this week. But we are preparing ourselves for engagement in this new administration. So basically we are saying government must intervene. We cannot have companies such as Sibanye that will put majority of its operation on care and maintenance. And we are saying in a situation that a company is putting an operation on care and maintenance, decisively so, government must take away the license and give give it to people who want to mine. We can't be having operations closed and people are not, people get to be retrenched as a result of that. Because all this care and maintenance status that companies are putting operations on, they lead to retrenchments. But equally so, we are saying we cannot be accepting retrenchments when some of the minerals are doing well, such as your gold. Where there are challenges economically, we are also part of the society. We understand the challenges that we'll be facing as the country. We are saying we must find amicable solutions without creating mass job losses. Thank you.
And last question, of course, we know that the union is very clear with regards to how they want the government of national unity to be formulated. But how do you see this government of national unity working, and who do you see in it?
Well, it's difficult to say. I must put a disclaimer that as the National Union of Mineworkers, who are the affiliate of COSATU, that is in the alliance with the ANC. So we'll be guided by our federation, COSATU, in this discussion. But of course, we are not giving away our autonomy as the trade union or as the union that is affiliated to COSATU. Yes, we do have a view. We'll be communicating our view through COSATU. And of course, we support what COSATU is saying. We don't want to enter into any government of national unity that will compromise workers' rights, that will change or shift the gains that workers have already achieved to date. Instead, we want any sort of government of national unity or coalition that will further improve the conditions of employment of the workers and the society at large.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. That is the Deputy Secretary General of NUM. He is going to be going on stage. The program is about to start at 9 o'clock, but those are some of the things that they're going to be discussing as the union, but also they want the ministers to be able to guide them and listen to the issues of the workers going into that government of national unity.
Nqobile, Madlala, thank you very much for the update. These are exciting times to see which way these talks are going to go and the permutation we ultimately end up with. But of course, for the purposes of alliance partners like COSATU, what it means for them and their membership in terms of jobs and economic policy. So we'll watch that one for you as well.